Dillian Whyte? Where does he go from here, do you think?
Well, okay, I'm going to give Dillian all the credit as a fighter, respect to him as a fighter. He needs to learn just a little bit of respect as well. You know, shake people's hands. I think that's important. I think you should take that away from tonight as well. Respect is important. And as a fighter, he goes away, and in a year's time, this will be forgotten about. That's how life goes, right? One mistake can't define a man. He's had a great career. As Tony says, he's learning on the job. So one slip up in anyone's road in life should never define you. You brush it off and you come again. What it is in this sport, right? As you're going through it, it means so much. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, I just lost or whatever. But in 10 years from now, when you're retired and you look back at your highlight reel, this is just a massive story, a massive, you know, comeback story to pop.
Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. And as by popular demand, a lot of people have asked me, what do I think about Joshua's statements towards Dillian Whyte? This is not breaking news. In fact, this is a little bit over a week old after Deontay Wilder was knocked out by Alexander Povetkin. And so did Anthony Joshua explain that, hey, he needs to learn a little respect. He did, you know, I don't think this by Anthony Joshua was bashing or shaming or trolling or anything like that. I think this was more of a critiquing on something that he's serious about, that he saw that Dillian Whyte needs to work on, is his attitude. And that goes along with ring generalship and respect for your other fighter. And I think I know what he's talking about. You know, like shaking the other person's hand. I remember live when they did their weigh-in, okay, and Dillian Whyte had lost a lot of weight, and, you know, Povetkin came in first, Dillian Whyte came in second, and when they weighed each other and they, you know, announced their weights, they did the standoff, and then Alexander Povetkin, I think before they did their standoff, I seen Alexander take his hand and shook it, you know, gesture to, you know, to get a handshake back. And Dillian Whyte just looked at him and turned forward. And I think that, matter of fact, that was after the standoff. Okay, the face-off had already began, and then after that he went to shake his hand. He didn't, but he did give him a fist bump after that. And I thought that stuck out, and that also remained throughout the rounds. Dillian Whyte didn't give him any dap a couple of those rounds. I think after the third, he started ignoring Povetkin, because Povetkin was respectful all the way through. You know, he was like, hey, you know, like good round. And I never seen Povetkin like this Drago, like if he dies, he dies, that type of things. He's not like that. He's very mild-mannered. You don't see him talk a lot of trash. I haven't, and haven't had any reports. And he gave Dillian Whyte that much respect. Not saying Dillian Whyte didn't give him any, but it did stick out like a sore thumb that Dillian Whyte didn't want to shake his hands. Maybe it was because of the corona thing or whatever, but if that's the case, you shouldn't be fighting him, because you guys are tested every day or every other day when you come in or whatever, to make sure you don't have the shit, to make sure you just didn't pick it up from somewhere. Okay, so I don't think that had a lot to do with it. Maybe it was just reflex because of it, like, no, I don't want to shake hands this season, maybe. But as of Anthony Joshua's, is an outstanding or outward standing champion and gentleman. Okay, so he knows the respect factor, and he feels that can go a long way. However, counterpunching Anthony Joshua is compared to Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte made his own way by being brash, by being a rude boy, by talking shit, by doing what he does. Okay, that's why he's catching it right now, because I remember when Deontay Wilder got beat from pillar to post, he was, he got beat so bad, right? He was, dude, it was crazy. So yeah, it's coming back around. That's all it is. And I don't think that bothers Dillian Whyte, though. And of course, look who's saying this. This is Anthony Joshua. This is the $1 million promotional, the endorsee He's a $12 million a year endorsee. He has that many. He's a multi-million dollar guy that's being endorsed by all these promotions, and he's making all this money. He's that outward guy. He's the guy on the billboard. He's the guy, and you walk into the Nike store, you're going to see him in Under Armour, okay? That's that guy, okay? Dillian Whyte ain't that guy. He's the body snatcher, okay? And it would probably help for, you know, an inner sense of respect for the other fighter. I get what Joshua's saying, but I also understand Dillian Whyte is not Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will never say outside the ring, hey, yeah, I'm talking to Deontay Wilder, that lanky piece of shit over there. Anthony Joshua ain't going to do that. Dillian Whyte will. Dillian Whyte will, because that's Dillian Whyte. You know, so I don't see Dillian Whyte talking shit back at these guys or pissed off on why they're he's getting criticized and things of that nature. But because he knows he'll do the same thing if he was in their position, because he did it. Right? This same year, Deontay Wilder got beat. He got beat. Okay? Others will be beaten too. If they get blasted, they get roasted. It is what it is. It's the name of the game. Now, for shits and giggles, you know, for sake of argument, you could say, well, hey, you know, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't need to do that or whatever. But hey, he did that. Okay? And he started this thing, and now it's finishing. You know? But I think it's a cycle. And I think Dillian Whyte should be who Dillian Whyte is, even though it is a shitty thing to do. Someone puts their hand out and you don't shake it. It's just, you know, it's just bad sportsmanship. But at the end of the day, that's who he is. And he didn't really feel like shaking hands. He won't do it. So it's really just showing the true nature of who the body snatcher really is. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's comments towards Dillian Whyte. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.